and good to have you with us on this edition of the Urban Debate. We've got two big stories lined up over the next 1 hour. The first one, the Delhi oxygen row, where a massive political war of words has erupted between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. And then we'll also talk about the other massive face-off, Twitter versus the centre, and what's the latest here. But first up, let's put the spotlight on the Delhi oxygen supply row. Now, how did it begin? It began when this document emerged in public domain, a document which is being used by the government to be submitted in the Supreme Court as an affidavit. Now, as part of this entire affidavit, which essentially talks about sourcing, distribution, management of oxygen in the pandemic times and looks into various aspects of it, there is also one part which is on how the national capital managed its oxygen in the peak of second wave. Remember the time when Delhi was facing a massive oxygen crisis? Remember the time where every day, one after the other hospital would put out public SOS messages saying we are going to run out of oxygen? Remember the time when lives were lost, when a hospital ran out of oxygen in the national capital? At that time, there were a series of meetings that took place between the Supreme Court appointed panel and even the Delhi government. Conversations that went on over several days about the demand and supply of oxygen in the national capital. Now, a report emerged today that initially stated that Delhi government demanded 4 times more oxygen than what was needed. Now, while this part is mentioned as part of this document, it has to be seen in context. So let's tell you in context what are the two sides. Conversations have been recorded in this report that consumption by all big hospitals be considered. And the demand was then quoted to be 4 times higher than what was needed. It said that 4 hospitals inflated the oxygen demand, and when those erroneous figures were corrected, there was a massive fall in what the Delhi government or the city of Delhi actually needed in terms of oxygen. But the Delhi government, even at that time, said that this is a wrong way of looking at it. You have missed out 2-3 of the bigger hospitals. There are inconsistencies and incorrect use of formula. You have to keep in mind the buffer oxygen. You have to keep in mind the oxygen that is being used outside as well. So there was a lot of back and forth that this report actually talks about. Different views that SC panel members and even the central government representatives in this panel had versus the Delhi government representing and speaking on behalf of the oxygen of the hospitals who are giving their oxygen demand to the Delhi government. For example, let me tell you a few of the questions that we feel must be addressed. Did this panel report really include the need for oxygen in non-COVID cases? Did it include the need for oxygen in the extra beds? At that time, it wasn't just the oxygenated beds that were consuming these cylinders. Almost everybody who was getting admitted into the hospital was in a very, very serious condition, and many of them required oxygen. Hospitals were overfull, corridors were full, rooms had extra beds. That's how the national capital was functioning. Was that factored into this formula? One could ask. Does it take into account the extra patients that were hospitalized? Does it take into account the oxygen that was used at homes? Does it take into account the SOS that was being raised repeatedly as per the situation on ground? Let me go across to Ayushman to put some more light onto this document. Ayushman, we've gone through it in detail without jumping to one page or the other. Let's put this in context for our viewers, especially that report on the national capital. Now, who are these panel members and what was their job? What were their findings? And then we'll talk about what was the Delhi government's response to it.
Well, Tanvi, it's a five-member panel in which three members are from the center side, which is being headed by the AIMS director, and two members. One is a Delhi government official, and the other is the director of Max Healthcare. In the report, it has been several points have been highlighted as to how the oxygen need supply all across the country went up. The Delhi's case has been discussed in detail. In that, it has been highlighted as to how, because of the high demand, the oxygen consumption in the national capital went up. But the most important aspect comes on page 13 of this panel's report, in which it has been highlighted that out of in the consideration of 183 hospitals, the expected consumption was more than 1100 metric ton, which was anticipated by the Delhi government. But because of the erroneous calculation that this committee is saying, erroneous calculation that was done by only four hospital, when that was corrected, the demand came down to 200 metric ton, which means four hospitals were demanding 900 metric ton of oxygen. Now, we tried to speak to these four hospitals. Two we could manage, they didn't speak. We also tried to reach to the experts who were part of the panel. They also didn't speak. In fact, the Max director was we were being told that he was out of town, so he couldn't speak. But the most critical aspect remains, Tanvi, like you pointed out, was the factor of home isolation, of the increased capacity of hospitals and the increased patient in the hospitals considered when these factors were being calculated as to which hospital needs how much oxygen. Because during the peak of the second wave, almost every other hospital, small, big or medium-sized hospital, was demanding oxygen. Big hospitals like Gangaram, and even for once, even AIMS had the problem of oxygen supply. So somewhere the report says that Delhi government wanted more than what it needed, and somewhere the Delhi government did not anticipate as to how much of oxygen was needed, and they only went to Supreme Court without any calculation that they wanted 700 metric ton. This is the basis, the calculation that they have used, and have said that somewhere Delhi government did not have any idea as to how 700 metric ton is going to be used. Delhi government has completely rebuked this report. They say that there is also two dissent notes, Tanvi. If you see, we have gone through the report. There are two dissent notes, and the Delhi government says that still there are no final reports where the signature of the subgroup which has been formed is there. So they have completely rebuked this report and have said that this is definitely a ploy by the BJP.
Yes, so actual oxygen consumption that is mentioned here of 183 hospitals as per the data by the Delhi government itself was 1140 MT. Actual oxygen consumption after correcting erroneous reporting by four hospitals, 209 MT. Now, that's a massive fall that is also at the heart of this debate. Can you really remove the data of erroneous hospitals and see that big a fall really take place? Recommended oxygen consumption as per the central government's formula, 289 MT. Recommended oxygen consumption as per Delhi formula, 391 MT. So there are different numbers that have been given here, and really now it's up to the Supreme Court to see what happens next. But let me go back to Ayushman. Ayushman, even in the report itself, the Delhi government has countered a lot of these points that were raised. Let's just highlight their view of this calculation as well.
The most important aspect, Tanvi, if you see the report, talks about there are 5 meetings which has taken place, and in that 4th meeting is something that is being highlighted the most, because that is the point where the discussion on the consumption and the expected amount is being discussed. One of the committee officials clearly says that he was not present there. Also, the ICMR guideline is something that is being said. The top 3 officials challenge that, but the Delhi government says that their allocation has been basis this. So there are several points where the Delhi government official clearly says that the assumptions which have been made by the panel are not really related to what they have been saying. So there is a conflict that arises, and two dissent note mostly talk about those conflicts which have been mentioned along in the almost 163-page document which is there in the Supreme Court affidavit.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate, and we hope it's not because of politics. But clearly what you're saying, Ayushman, 5 panel members, couple of them representatives of the central government who would have one view, one private hospital, representative who has a dissenting view, one Delhi government representative who has a different view. So within the panel itself, you can say there seems to be a division of views. And when you're looking at something as serious as oxygen demand supply, something which is a life-saving entity, so crucial in times of a pandemic, one would hope that everybody really treats this issue in a fair, unbiased, neutral manner. Ayushman, thanks for joining us and putting this in perspective. Now, we wanted to explain this to our viewers as well, because it can be misleading if you just hear one side of it. A lot more will emerge probably when this report gets taken up by the Supreme Court. But the Aam Aadmi Party is questioning that. The Aam Aadmi Party says this is not even signed by the committee members. They are daring the BJP to show the signed copy and saying we'll take it up in the Supreme Court. So let's say good evening to the panelists who are joining us on this conversation. Charul Pragya, spokesperson for the BJP. Reena Gupta, spokesperson for the Aam Aadmi Party. Saket Tikku, President, All India Industrial Gases Manufacturers Association. Saket's been on our conversations, through that time when there was a massive oxygen crisis, and he, along with other Central Committee members, were trying to ensure that oxygen reaches the places where it is in most need. And Dr. Surajit Chatterjee, Senior Consultant for Internal Medicine at Indraprastha Apollo Hospital, also joins us this evening. Good evening to all of you. Let me start off with Charu Pragya. Charu, how do you view this report? Can we really say that all of those hospitals who were crying for oxygen and all of those lives that were lost were really not about any oxygen shortage, that the Delhi government was just exaggerating the need?
Tanvi, nobody denies that there was a massive crisis in Delhi. The point in contention is, was this crisis created because there was no oxygen, or was this crisis created because the existing oxygen supply was mismanaged? Were the numbers given to the central government all wrong because Delhi government did not go over it with a fine tooth? Why is it that in some hospitals, patients were losing their lives for lack of oxygen, and at the same time, Aam Aadmi Party government had reserves with sufficient oxygen for places who made a SOS call and the oxygen would reach them? I have been talking about it, and even on your show, Tanvi, we have covered this topic many times while we were smack in the middle of the crisis. And even then, I have said that the supply chain in Delhi is faulty. The supply chain in Delhi has not been well thought of, because once Delhi government gets the oxygen, are they ensuring the correct quantity reaches the correct hospital? Also, we have to understand that Delhi government has changed its oxygen requirement and goalposts every alternate day. So they went from 590 metric tons a day to 600, 700, 800, 900.
Okay, we seem to have lost that line with Charu Pragya. We're going to try and fix that, but you get the gist of it. Charu is essentially highlighting that there is a problem in the way the available oxygen was distributed. And of course, one thing that emerged was some of the hospitals who were exaggerating their own claims. Reena Gupta.
I think I'm back.
Charu,
if I can 10 seconds more.
I think there's still a problem. I'm still getting your voice in a very broken manner. So let us fix that and I'll come back to you. Yes, Reena.
Tanvi, it's a very sad day today that the central government is actually ridiculing all the lives that have been lost in Delhi. What they're saying that all the families who lost their loved ones have all been lying. The hospitals and the doctors that were giving out SOS calls, they were lying. And, there was enough oxygen in Delhi. And so if that is the case, what happened to that oxygen? Did Delhi government, did we eat away that oxygen, or what happened to that oxygen? So, and also coming back to the point that there is a report. Actually, there is no report. There is no report which has been signed by all the members of the audit panel. Tanvi, I have been part of several government constituted committees. The way these committees work is that you deliberate and then you give a report, and the members who don't agree with the report, they give a dissenting report. We have spoken to several members who were part of this audit panel. They have said that they have not seen any report, they have not signed on to any report. What has been leaked in the public domain is an affidavit given by the Joint Secretary of the Union Government. The Union Government from the beginning has been saying there is no oxygen shortage in Delhi. If you remember, we were having these TV debates on your channel every day. So even then, that time, they were not ready to recognize that there is an oxygen shortage in Delhi.
No. Okay, so let's keep the political commentary aside. Now, the question and one basic point of the BJP that you must respond to is that Charu Pragya says it's not that people were lying or that some hospitals didn't have a shortage. It's that you didn't distribute the available oxygen in a proper manner. You were not organized enough in giving the oxygen at a timely manner where it was needed, which is why this problem was arising. On the other hand, if the hospitals were giving you exaggerated numbers of oxygen that they want, which I feel that some may have tended to do because nobody wants to be in a situation where they don't have oxygen, so they'll probably end up asking for more. You simply pass that on to them saying now we need 1100 MTs.
So let me answer each of these points in detail, Tanvi. So coming to point number one, if the union government was supplying us more oxygen than was actually being used in Delhi, what was happening to that oxygen? You remember correctly, Delhi had no storage capacity. So what did we do? Did we just release that oxygen in the air? If they were giving us more than that was actually being consumed? I mean, the whole conversation, the whole argument is ridiculous. And Tanvi, look at the larger issue. It was not as if there was a shortage in Delhi. There was an oxygen shortage in the whole country. And the union government is solely responsible for the mismanagement of oxygen shortage in the whole country. Look at what happened in Karnataka. Look at what happened in Goa. These are BJP-ruled states. People lost their lives because there was an oxygen shortage in those states. So, I mean, I don't understand this, and it is the central government is being so insensitive today that all these doctors and nurses who did not go home for 2 months, all their effort is being ridiculed and they are being told that they are liars.
No, they're not being told that. No, Reena, they're not being told that at all. They're not being told that at all. This is simply a debate over the demand and supply, the management by the Delhi government, whether it was right or wrong at that point of time. Now, at every point, and I will continue to highlight this, and I have two more experts, but yes, Charu, I'll give you 30 seconds. It's really your version versus mine. It's really, some of the committee members saying something else versus some others saying something else. Your formula versus mine, your data versus mine.
Tanvi, first of all,
can I just complete one last 10 seconds?
But I'll finish that now. I was trying to say that Aam Aadmi Party changed its requirement every day. And when an oxygen audit was called for...
requirements do change every day because of the number of patients.
But they changed by crazy amounts, and when the oxygen audit was called for, they backtracked and said that now we have excess oxygen which can be given to our neighboring states. Also, I don't think Reena has understood the point of contention here. Nobody is talking about doctors and nurses. Please don't continue to cry like this, because your solution to everything seems to be an emotional appeal, Reena, yours and your chief ministers, which is unfortunate, because on one side you say, I have been staying awake all night making sure everybody gets oxygen. Well, where have you got this oxygen from? You had the oxygen, that's why you were able to send it to certain hospitals, and the hospitals which did not get it was because you did not manage your supply chains properly. Also, you have to understand that as soon as Supreme Court started pulling you up, started saying that your management seems to be wrong, your supply chain seems to be wrong, you changed the goalpost, because you have been crying about a different thing every day. Once there is a spotlight on you,
Tanvi, can I respond now? Her 30 seconds are over.
You change the goalpost.
Yeah, okay. No, I really need to go to our other two panelists. Please, I will come back to both of you, yes. But let's go to our other two panelists. To Dr. Chatterjee first. Dr. Chatterjee, to say that the demand given was 4 times more than what Delhi required. Can this really be calculated on the basis of a simple formula? When the demand may be changing every day, when more patients may be coming in and out, where designated number of beds may be changing every day. You will find a bed wherever and try and give an oxygen cylinder to that patient however possible. Can we really now calculate this on the basis of a formula?
I don't think that there could be a definite formula for that, because every day, any patient, suppose somebody requires only 1 liter of oxygen, the same patient after about 2 hours requires about 10 liters of oxygen. So where is the formula? So, and there could be more patients, maybe at one given time, there are 5 patients who are requiring oxygen, but after about 3 hours, there could be about 15 patients who are requiring oxygen, and the requirement was varying this time hugely, because the patients this time were very, very sick. The oxygen requirement in the patients was very high. So I really don't know whether there can be a definite formula, because the demand was increasing, the number of patients was increasing, the number of patients coming into the centers, into the serious wards were increasing. So the number was very variable. So it is very difficult to have a definite formula which will say that we require this much of oxygen only.
Okay, but let me get in Saket Tiku as well, because in some of our conversations, even at that point, Saket, you had pointed out that judicious and organized use of oxygen is also important. But can we say that, that could be one of the factors that led to a 4 times gap?
To begin with, I would not like to comment on the audit report because I have not seen it, and I believe it's not in public domain. So I would not like to comment on the report which I have not seen. But the question is whether Delhi government on purpose exaggerated the oxygen requirement, whether Delhi purposely inflated their requirement. Since before this new task, the force was formed by the Supreme Court. There was an oxygen committee in place, of DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. This committee would do the allocation of oxygen to each and every state and UT. They would do the allocation. It was not any unilateral decision. It was with the consent of all the state stakeholders. Then whatever was agreed upon was given to the empowered group, and empowered group would then go through it and approve it accordingly. So since I've been a part of that committee as well, and anyway, right now I'm speaking as president of the Indian Gas Association, please understand, I don't think they did it deliberately. I cannot comment on that. I don't think they did it deliberately. But what must have gone wrong, yes, they did ask for a quantity which they never used or never consumed. Please understand, New Delhi is not among the best oxygen managed states. It never has been. It's my experience from the last year also, when I got a letter from the Delhi state, please in advance, that 132 patients, 132 people will be active cases on July 15, and please make preparations for 392 metric tons. It's a letter which was sent to me. And by 31st July, the cases will be 332. That means around 1,000 tons. But in reality, when they asked for 392 tons, but in reality, on 15 July, they consumed around 96 tons. And there were 18,600 patients, active cases. And we were told to be prepared for 132,000. This is last year. This year also, I feel maybe their projections, they don't know how to do the calculation, I don't know how they come to this figure of asking 700 tons, 900 tons, 1,000 tons. Something is wrong there. But I would also like to tell you that in April, around 20th or 21st April, oxygen carrying trucks were not allowed to come into Delhi. Faridabad stopped it, UP stopped it, Uttarakhand stopped it. And I was in touch with the Ministry of Home Affairs. I brought it to their notice. And when the chief secretaries will speak to each other, and this problem was sorted. But then I happened to have a meeting with Honorable PM on 23rd of April. He did, because I was reporting to him, and he said, yes, we're taking note of it. And 24th order was issued, where all these the district collectors were made responsible for the free movement of these oxygen carrying vehicles. And they were told that you have to ensure and with the police protection, give a green corridor to it, and ensure that the truck reaches to another neighboring state. That problem was sorted. But yes, Delhi had problem in April. But then in the month of May, when they were asking for 700 tons and 900 tons, when we as a head of the association, as I was making preparations for giving them 700 tons, they could not decant those, offload that quantity because they did not have enough storage capacity. Delhi in April or May was having a capacity of 822 tons total installed storage capacity. And then what they did later on, they approached the oxygen manufacturing units in the neighboring states and requested them to store this
Okay, so this is an important
with them.
point that you have raised. Okay, one is well, they couldn't consume it. So what was the point of asking for so much more? So where did
I
you
think the
get
planning
a
has
higher
gone wrong.
number? Where did you get a higher number, Reena Gupta? And two, that when you did get, for those couple of days, a higher level of or more oxygen as you were demanding, you couldn't really store it or consume it. Would you want to clarify on these
Hang
two?
on. What
Yeah.
they did, they
Yeah.
had a tie-up with a neighboring plant in Haryana
Yes.
and requested them that they should store this. They had a tie-up for storing around 300 tons of oxygen.
So when
whatever
they got
oxygen they was
700 metric tons, they didn't have the storage capacity. They tied up with another location to store it. Correct?
Sorry, come again. I lost you.
When
in
they
between.
got 700 empty, they did not have enough storage capacity, so they had to tie up with a third entity to figure out the storage.
Because we sent them 4 ISO containers, around 80 tons of oxygen around 7-8 May, and it took 3 to 4 days for those trucks to get empty.
Okay.
Because they were moving
Yes.
from one place to another place.
Fair enough. So let's get Reena to explain these two issues, and if we can find an answer to whether there was then this level of confusion and mismanagement.
So Tanvi, first of all, we have to agree that the Supreme Court constituted audit panel has not given its report.
Sure.
The Bharatiya Janata Party, which is Bharatiya Jhoti Party, has released some version of some report. What is the hurry? I will be more than happy to come on your TV channel again when the Supreme Court has accepted the report and all the details are in the public domain. Point number one. Point number two, if you remember correctly, every day we were having TV shows and the Supreme Court actually held the central government accountable and said that now you need to make sure that you supply oxygen to Delhi. Otherwise, they were playing politics. The governments of UP and Haryana were not letting the trucks come into Delhi. And the way the virus was behaving, Tanvi, the demand was changing from day to day. So one has to be prepared for a worst case scenario. But why was the central government not prepared? Where we have the empowered group in November saying there's going to be an oxygen shortage in the country, November of 2020. We have the parliamentary committee last year also saying that there's going to be an oxygen shortage in the country. So why did we not have enough oxygen for the whole country?
Okay, no.
We held accountable for
Okay,
that.
no, 1 minute, Charu. I'll get you to respond to that in just a bit. But again, Reena, you are right. This doesn't look like a report which has all the content signed by everybody. When the Supreme Court takes it up, then you may want to address the rest of parts. But that being said, most of the pages which are there visible and which we have read do include conversations from both sides. Does include the dissenting letter even from the Max Healthcare representative, even from the Delhi government official who was on this panel for audit. All of that is also present. So, I mean, there is really no point in denying what it says, which has both the versions, by the way, including what the Delhi government's argument has been in every single meeting. The minutes of the meeting include all of those details as well. Simple point is, when you raised a demand that you need 1100 MT of oxygen, what was the basis of that? Is it that you collated demand from various hospitals and then just added the figure together to give it to the government and to the courts?
See, Tanvi, we were using the ICMR Government of India formula to calculate the demand.
Correct.
Also, as you remember correctly, in Delhi, the Delta variant virus was very prevalent, and the oxygen demand in the Delta variant virus is much higher. Also, there were cases where there were 2 patients on 1 bed. Why would we inflate the demand of oxygen? I mean, what is the Delhi government personally going to benefit out of asking for more oxygen?
Fair
On
enough.
one hand,
Okay.
the BJP government says, let me just complete. On the one hand, BJP government says that Delhi is a very small state. And on the other hand, they're saying that because of Delhi's high requirement and asking for more oxygen, there was shortage in 12 states. I mean, seriously, can there be a more ridiculous argument than this?
Okay,
That
yes, and I just want
because
to,
of Delhi,
let me also...
there was oxygen shortage in 12 states.
Point taken, point taken. Let me just also highlight whether or not Delhi has an infrastructure to store over 700 MT or 764 MT, which is quite possible because nobody ever imagined you would need more than this oxygen. When your need goes up, it's irrespective of what your storage capacity is. And we know it because Reena, you, Charu, you, me, all of our colleagues who've been in Delhi, who've gone, who've gone through the unfortunate experience of having a loved one in one of these hospitals, know what the state of hospitals was. It can't be a simple calculation to say 200 oxygenated beds, this much oxygen per hour, hence this much oxygen in 24 hours. It couldn't be a simple mathematical equation like that. But yes, Charu, go ahead and respond to what Reena is saying.
So, Tanvi, I think the oxygen crisis which Delhi faced, it needs to be looked at from a practical point of view, apart from the emotional defensive point of view that Reena Gupta is taking all day. And unfortunately, I've been on several debates with her already. All she does is point fingers elsewhere instead of analyzing what went wrong. I also need to inform Reena that maybe she's not aware of the communication, but your government has been served a copy of this report 3 days back, Reena. I would not even mention this, but this expose has come from the Times Group itself, to which Mirror now belongs. So Tanvi must be aware this is
It's
out
just
in
a
the open.
screenshot of an email. I can send an email to anybody, Charu. It's just a screenshot of an email.
Well,
That is not how the government works.
Tell you an email. No, an email is it accounts to a serving of a notice. I'm a lawyer. You need to move on from the old days of registered letters coming to your doorstep. That's the first thing. The second thing is today Reena is at least admitting that there were 2 patients per bed, because like I've been saying, this government changes its goalposts every day. They went on and on saying we have a dashboard, we have beds, we have this, la la la, li li li. But at the end of the day, that dashboard didn't work. Her nodal officers didn't work. All the numbers they asked, oxygen
Charu,
for
let's talk
were
about what happened in UP. Let's talk about
No,
what happened in UP.
ladies, may I just, ladies, may I just, this is not going to be a political fight of what has already happened and a blame game. I'm sorry, that is exactly the problem. That is exactly the problem here. Even now we are doing politics over something as serious as an audit of the oxygen situation. Can we please stop now at least? People have died. Even now we want to do a political fight over it. Your version versus mine. Your formula versus mine. Your storage number versus my storage number. This authority said this, my authority said that. This official said that, my official said that. You speak to a hospital that is under the Delhi government, it will give you a different version than a hospital that is under the central government. You speak to a Babu who is under the Delhi government, will give you a different version than a Babu under the central government. I mean, can everybody please, for once, understand that this is about saving lives and not taking political sides, and find solutions to fix the problem before a third wave hits us. Dr. Chatterjee, I want to come back to you. Can we speak about what were the key issues? Nobody can deny that there was also a problem with management. For whatever be the reasons, we couldn't manage it right for those few days. Nobody can also deny that when Delhi finally did start getting a higher quantity of oxygen after the interventions of court, the scarcity problem did go away. There were hospitals every day, Dr. Chatterjee, who were sending out SOS saying we need more and more and more and more oxygen, which was very different from the math the same hospital would have done a week before that.
Absolutely true, because everything was varying and everything was a variable factor. Nothing was really constant. There were more sick patients coming in. Nobody really expected that this wave could be so different from the first wave. The oxygen requirement would be so high, because if you compare the first wave with the second wave, the oxygen requirement this time was much higher. Even if we compare from patient to patient, from one that this patient required so much of oxygen, this time the patients were much more serious. The requirement was much higher, and obviously all the beds were full in most of the hospitals this time. So everything this time differed. So there were calculations which failed. Nobody anticipated that this wave would be that bad. We were all taken by surprise. The doctors were taken by surprise. The hospitals must have been taken by surprise. Even the administration must have been taken by surprise. I'm not denying that fact, but there's definite truth in the fact that this time we served much more serious patients requiring much more oxygen, and oxygen requirement was much higher this time.
And let me just say, we need to look at where the genuine problems were and try and fix that problem. For example, if there is a storage limitation, that needs to be increased. If there is a distribution, communication, coordination problem, that needs to be resolved. If there is a problem of exaggeration in demand from the hospitals, and you sit across the table with the hospitals and you discuss it with them. I'm going to thank all of the panelists who've joined us on this conversation, completely out of time, but thank you for joining us. The report extensively says that Delhi couldn't use the oxygen supplied because they couldn't offload it, which is what Saket Tikku was pointing out, or decant the oxygen from suppliers since they couldn't store it. Though the Delhi government has also rebutted this in the very same document, in the very same report, saying, no, we did have storage for 764 empty, and obviously on no single day did they any which ways get more oxygen than that, even though they kept demanding it. The key to this entire part is that at every stage, even during the peak of second wave, even during the peak of oxygen crisis in the national capital, the Delhi government and the central government were fighting it out in the Delhi High Court, were fighting it out in the Supreme Court. A panel was appointed with members, the panel that was led by the AIIMS chief, Randeep Guleria, with members from the central government, with members from the Delhi government and a private hospital, and still they couldn't agree on a formula on the handling. Now, how the Supreme Court deems this report and what it takes away from it, we will have to wait and see. One can hope for only two things: that we stop petty politics over this, stop this blame game, and two, we figure out a solution and prepare ourselves better today for what could be a third wave anytime. Thank you for joining us.